So now I can say that we are moving on to Deep Rock Galactic, the game, the digital game, and what's been cooking at Ghost Games, because we've been working on something. And
yes, we do. And I think so. We are gonna show you a trailer, a teaser, announcement teaser, and after that we'll swap Søren with Mike, and then we'll talk about what you're just about to see. But should we do a small drum roll? Roll it, Mike. Mark. So that was our announcement teaser trailer for Rogue Core. And now we are gonna say goodbye to Søren and swap him with Mike.
Goodbye, everyone. Here comes Mike. Here you go.
Nice.
And hi, Mike.
Hi, Mikkel. Hi, chat.
Mike is lead designer on Deep Rock Galactic and also on Rogue Core.
Yes.
So
That's super exciting.
It's super exciting, yes. So what did we just see here? Well, Rogue Core is a 1 to 4 player co-op roguelike shooter. And you and your friends can or will join an elite team of dwarven reclaimers, and you're sent to Hoxxes in order to reestablish control over lost mining dig sites, mining facilities. Working on this game, we've been inspired by other games like Risk of Rain 2 or Gunfire Reborn, looking at the way that they handle the whole roguelite gameplay mechanic and putting on it. And then obviously we are setting the game in the Deep Rock Galactic universe. Rogue Core takes place at the same time as Deep Rock Galactic, as the dwarves go to work and mine in the caves. And as such, we consider Rogue Core a spin-off of Deep Rock Galactic, or you could call it an standalone expansion for Deep Rock Galactic. Our plan for Rogue Core is that we will launch it into early access by the end of 2024, and Season 5 for Deep Rock Galactic is planned to come by June 24, and Season 5 will work as sort of like a prelude that will foreshadow some of the events that will take place in Rogue Core. So that was sort of like you can say the outline of what Rogue Core is. But Mike, how did we end up here announcing a new game today?
Yeah, well, so of course we are announcing it today, even though we have been working on this, exploring it, prototyping stuff for a while now, because we are now ready to commit. This is the game we are making.
Oh, so
Rogue Core is real.
So exciting!
It's been a bit of a journey, kind of, because it started off as an expansion, or almost actually a game mode for Deep Rock Galactic, something we just wanted to explore, this type of play, right? The idea of a rogue-like or a roguelite flow or cycle in Deep Rock Galactic, something we talked about here at Ghost Ship Games years ago, like many years, like before we even left early access. While in early access, we talked about this, but we decided not to kind of go with that. But we've also seen, like in the community, people talking about it, like suggesting things like that, and it is something that we think totally works, and now we have proven to ourselves is totally working.
And I think, I mean, we started out doing very simple prototypes. Basically, you were doing the prototype initially, I think, where we were just testing out how would this flow, how would this work out, and our initial idea was that this could be an expansion for Deep Rock Galactic. But then, as we were developing on this thing, our ambitions grew. Like that's basically game development for you. I mean, that happens when we start working. So our ambitions they just grew. We wanted to do more and more and more in this game, and I think 2 months ago, 1.5 months ago, we started realizing that this could not just be an expansion. This actually had to be its own thing.
Yes, and also like during our test, right? Kind of when we started, it was just you were playing as the 4 classes of Deep Rock Galactic, like very much in this kind of like expansion game mode style thing. And then we talked, and you gave free reign to try to kind of throw things out the window, and it benefited a lot from that. And that's kind of where we came to this place where, okay, well, this is not a different a different way to play Deep Rock Galactic. I mean, it is running on the kind of the core gameplay of Deep Rock Galactic, the shooting, the hordes, the caves, the procedural generation, but it is
I think basically when we started and we had the idea that this could be an expansion, right? We were trying to make Rogue Core, or what is Rogue Core now, work within the Deep Rock Galactic framework, like the economy of Deep Rock Galactic, and that simply turned out to be too much of a hassle. For
and
us.
Limiting. I mean,
So that's where we are today. Rogue Core, new game announced by Ghost Ship Games.
Woo!
Feels good. It feels good to say it, and I think that another thing I just want to address: why are we announcing Rogue Core right now? And the reason why, because actually I think we are excited about this, but we are also a little bit uncomfortable because we don't have that much to show yet from the game. We have been very busy on working on a prototype, right? But it's very crude. We don't have actually that much artwork yet. But we are announcing it now because we want to do open development on Rogue Core. And that means that we want to invite you to join us in this and follow us and participate on Discord and on the Steam forum and everywhere you can and see what we are doing. And we will promise you that on the other hand, we will share the development, we'll share our milestones, our roadmap with you, so you have an idea about where we are heading. And right now, I think we have the store page live for Rogue Core. Can someone give me a thumbs up if we have the store page live?
We have it.
We have it live. So you can go in there and wishlist the game now, and you can follow us. But you will also see that we don't have that much artwork to show.
There's a few screenshots there, and we're actually going to maybe also go through some of them here.
Now. We will go through it. Yeah, we'll show you the roadmap, and we'll talk about where we are heading and so on. Again, if you missed it, we are also doing a season 5. So we are not abandoning Deep Rock Galactic. Just want to emphasize that. But anyways, now our open development on Rogue Core starts, and that's very exciting. But let me just try to go a little bit back to the announcement teaser you just saw and talk about what is going on with Rogue Core. So Deep Rock Galactic, as we know them, the Space Mining Corporation, they have discovered this new insanely precious mineral called Expenite. And they discovered this at the core of Hoxxes. And they've been establishing, maybe secretly, I don't know, but they have been establishing.
I think a little bit secretly.
A little bit secretly. You as a working dwarf didn't know about it, right?
No, exactly.
So, but they've been establishing deep mining operations down there in order to extract Expenite. And then they started extracting the Expenite, and then suddenly they lost all contact with all the mining facilities.
Yeah, all the deep digs. all of them went dark.
Went dark in an event we called the Grey Out right now. And Deep Rock Galactic has not been able to enter these sites and regain control over them, and they don't actually know what the hell is going on at the core of Hoxxes. And then they've called in an elite unit that we refer to as the Reclaimers.
Yes.
And in Rogue Core, they arrive on their spaceship, the Ramrod.
Yeah.
And they are there to take care of business.
Exactly. I mean, they're the ones that are kind of, we imagine them as being a team in the Deep Rock Galactic Corporation. These are the dwarves they're sending when stuff goes completely crazy.
Yes.
So, and they're coming here to pretty much insert next to the barrier that is preventing you from getting in there, and to get in.
Yeah, so that's like the flow that you. Let's go into the flow of what the game is. So you start on the spaceship.
On the Ramrod. You start on the Ramrod, and regarding that, so you have kind of two selections. You make your loadout, and you, as a reclaimer, you get a reclaimer weapon, and you get a face suit. And the face suit is pretty much something that you're wearing, and that it gives an ability that you are then able to activate during your play, and then you have the special weapon. And these are new weapons; these are not DRG weapons, or at least not the weapons that.
So the big thing here is that there are no classes. There are no classes like from Deep Rock Galactic. You are all just reclaimers, and then you sort of build your class by combining a face suit and a starting gun.
Exactly, and of course, as you play and progress, you'll be able to unlock new ones. So you increase your choices.
And I think if you look at the screenshot here that we're showing in the background, so our idea is that the face suit comes with an ability that can be multiple different things, and we have a lot of prototypes on various ones.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's actually the time dilation prototype.
Time dilation, yeah.
Which slows everything down.
Super cool. You slow everything down and can then combat enemies.
Except for the dwarves. So the dwarves are still kind of moving quickly, and it's very good for aiming at weak spots and kind of getting a read on the situation. And because when they come down, they get inserted in front of this barrier, they go through, and where they're going is very dangerous. It is incredibly dangerous, and these are the dwarves for the job. These are the kind of snake eaters and stuff like that.
So basically, I mean, this barrier that we are talking about, I mean, Deep Rock, I mean, they can't send in a drop pod.
No.
Right? I mean, they can land outside it. Yeah. And then they can sort of walk in to this zone with this limited equipment.
Yes.
And then as they progress in this abandoned or lost mining facility, they will find lost equipment that from Deep Rock Galactic, right?
Exactly.
And they can expand their equipment, their arsenal.
Totally. It is, of course, it is DRG's equipment, right? They're coming into this lost site, and they can find weapon caches, crates with stuff, things like that. And there they'll find weapons that are the DRG weapons, though, just disclaimer, again, because we're not in kind of, this is not part of DRG proper, these are being balanced towards Rogue Core and what Rogue Core needs from these weapons, and also the whole idea of kind of being able to find different variations of them, different power levels of them. And again, as you go through, right, you're going from kind of section of this dig site to section, going deeper and deeper, taking actually these elevators that you will have to activate.
This is a mining facility, right? So they have been established, and you're going to find a lot of this constructions and so on as you go down here. Going with elevators.
Yeah. But besides weapons, there's also, of course, this area, this dig site is full of Expenite, and this wonder material has properties where it can be used for a lot of things. And you have a special kind of processor drone with you, and you'll be able to. Not Molly.
Not Bosco.
Not Bosco. You'll be able to deposit Expenite, put Expenite into it, and once you kind of it has enough, it is able to then process this Expenite and create these temporary upgrades, power-ups for the team. And I think, can we get a screenshot of the negotiation screen? Yeah, that one. So one of the things, kind of as we were exploring this and playing around, we are approaching a co-op first mindset, just as we did with Deep Rock Galactic. And so besides, of course, the cooperative gunplay and traversal and all those things that exist in Deep Rock Galactic, we also wanted to have these other elements that we were now bringing in from this roguelite concepts, and we wanted to have power-ups and things like that, but we wanted you as a team to select these, to build not just for yourself, but to build the team, synergy across the builds of the different players, and so that you can select smart as a team and not just as an individual. And so when this drone processes Expenite, you'll get a screen something like this. That's the current version, where you have, and in this case, this is upgrades, right? That do different things.
And you have the ability to, I mean, we're also playing around right now. Of course, when we are testing it out, right, we're just constantly talking on Discord about what should we pick and what is suited for you and so on, and what are you trying to build and so on, right? But we also experimented with making it just like we are in DRG, that you can actually like an upgrade that you want. So if you are playing with randoms and you don't have voice chat available,
exactly,
you can actually still have some kind of communication here and
I think that's super important. I mean, because again, we don't want this to just be potentially cooperative for a group of friends playing with voice or whatever. We want this to be cooperative at its core, and therefore we need to bring in these tools for players to use, no matter the kind of the makeup of the team, to be able to play this in kind of this cooperative way where they work together. And so yeah, just very quickly, you can see a lot of details on the screen. But that's a big thing there. And then, of course, you are growing in power, you are collecting Expenite, you are finding weapons, you are doing all the stuff. Then you will come to also areas, we're calling them mid-stations. There may be one, there may be more inside a single mission that you're doing. And this is also kind of a place where you can take a little bit of a break. You can also resupply, rethink some of your build strategies and things like that, and then move on. And then eventually, of course, you get to the core. And exactly what happens there, we're not ready.
And I think, yeah, exactly right. And I think that is like, what the hell is going on here, right?
Yeah.
And we are not really ready to tell about that yet.
Not yet.
And the reason why we're not ready is because we are still working on it.
We're still working it out ourselves.
And we don't know that much yet. But and we need to find out an angle for this. We have some ideas, but again, only pointers. We've been very much focused on just working on the gameplay. No graphics, no nothing, just getting the gameplay proven in a prototype.
Exactly.
All right. So maybe we should talk about where we are in the development and take a look at our roadmap.
Yeah, let's do that.
So this is the roadmap. You will also find that on the Steam store for Rogue Core.
Yes.
I don't know. Basically, just before we start going through the Rogue Core, I just want to say, if there are people out on the chat who has questions, probably not. I guess me and Mike are covering all angles. But if you have some burning questions, right, please write them on the chat, and then I think we will have time to answer some of your questions later. Just want to emphasize, what we are doing now is not, we're not going to cover all angles of what we are saying here. We'll probably do another live stream or something about that when we get a little bit later, and when the whole thing settles in, that we are actually developing a new game. But anyways, write some questions, and then we'll try to answer some of them later.
Yes.
But let's go through the roadmap, Mike.
Yeah. So this one is showing actually also all the process that we've gone through ourselves. Now we're calling these different sections update 1, update 2, update 3. Of course, these are not externally available updates. This is kind of versions that we were playing ourselves. So we would work on it, kind of make a build so that other people in the office could play and talk about it and move on. So we are now, right now, starting to work on update 4, which is theming and visual identity. But to get there, we first went through kind of this very rough prototype. I talked about it a bit before that, and then started kind of exploring adding these co-op mechanics and doing a roguelite as a co-op game, not just in its like combat mechanics, but in its like the whole progression mechanics in it as well, right? Then finally, with update 3, we kind of started looking at the Reclaimer's gear. So up until this point, we were just running with stock DRG guns. And we already could feel like, okay, we needed something different here, simply because we also needed weapons that could do special things that we need from them, regarding also like ammo capacity and things like that, and their relationship to each other. And now, of course, is the announcement. You see, that's ticked off. And we will be focusing on theming and visual identity. And what this means is that, kind of like Mikkel, like you said, there isn't much that we can show right now. It's all very rough. It's all very ugly. We've been able to scrape together some screenshots, but you can see there's no HUD on those because there is no HUD. I mean, the HUD is kind of like a mishmash of existing DRG stuff and programmer art and things like that. So now we really want to work on that so that as quickly as possible we can come into a place where we can start showing Rogue Core in screenshots, maybe videos and things like that as we are working on it, so that you can come along with us on the journey.
You can also say that, I mean, we're also having a little bit of fun building like a spaceship. Now we have been doing like just the space rig, but actually doing a spaceship is different, and I think that is also breathing a lot of fresh air into the thing that we are.
The ramrod is super cool.
That we are abandoning the space rig and now moving to the ramrod. So so cool.
Yeah.
So
going further on, of course, the way this process is going right now, still super early days. So update 5, exactly what that's going to be is going to depend on where we are as we are doing the update 4. But there are a few things that we are kind of have focused on, goals, and that is in 2024. We want to have the closed alpha going in Q1. So that kind of means, in the first quarter of the year, for those that don't know. And then, of course, hitting the actual early access release in Q4. We're hoping for November. All these things, of course, subject to change as things are going, but we'll keep you up to date all the time.
Yeah, and I think if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing here, you should wishlist Rogue Core, you should follow Rogue Core, and you should. We are gonna have a section on our Discord, right? For Deep Rock Galactic that will cover Rogue Core.
Yes.
And you can also look there for information about Rogue Core. So that's really where to go.
Yeah, and that's also going to be a place, kind of, you're saying, like later on as we're going, like from now on. Of course, you can write some questions right now, but also, I mean, Discord, as always, there'll be a section for talking about Rogue Core, and we'll be there and we'll be happy to talk. Of course, not at all hours of the day, but that will be a place where you can start doing that.
And then I think it's very early to talk about price point, right? But
reasonable. It's going to be reasonable.
I was just wondering if you guys out there were wondering about that, and I think that it's something that is undecided, but we could totally imagine that you could maybe get a discount if you own Deep Rock Galactic, or we would bundle Deep Rock Galactic and Rogue Core together and sell it as a bundle. Cool. So multiple options here. We're also going into early access, so maybe Rogue Core will be a little bit cheaper, and then we'll increase the price as we move into the early to the full launch.
As we did with DRG.
Yeah. So yeah. And then after Rogue Core launch, we will continue supporting Rogue Core, but we'll also do Season 6 for Deep Rock.
Of course.
A lot of stuff to do there. And I think that just to address that, we haven't talked so much about Season 5 here, but Season 5 will be themed around Rogue Core, about the events that are taking place in Rogue Core. And then, of course, it will come with a lot of other features.
As usual.
As usual, yeah. So
and there's been a lot of requests as well.
Yeah, and so we are fully aware that we are, you can say, pushing expectation for when Season 5 would drop. But on the other hand, I think we're also super excited about actually doing something that feels a little bit different. And, and I think that are pushing us, are challenging us. This is a big challenge, right? Compared to what just doing another season. Not that we don't have fun doing another season, because we
and those are also challenging. I'm just going to say
they're also challenging, but it's just this thing about starting a new game and doing that. There's a completely different level of commitment.
The team's excited.
So, but I don't know, guys. Are we ready for some questions?
Yes, we have some questions. All right. So, will Rogue Core be procedurally generated like Deep Rock?
Yeah.
Yes.
Short and sweet. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. It will. I mean, we are again all of the things we are saying now is up to change, right? We are right now looking at a construction where you are going to 4 or 5.
It would be even more, but
it could be even more stages, and we are sort of like. Or you have been like redesigning the way that the caves are, because I think because of the speed that we want in this game, we have you can say we're designing smaller cave systems.
Totally. I mean, the system is DRG system. We're still using the DRG tech for creating caves and all that stuff, and it's still taking place on Hoxxes. So the biomes and stuff like that are still there. The bugs are also there. All that stuff. We are adding new things as well. But yeah, that core is there. But the flow of it, I mean, this is not an egg hunt, and it is not an industrial sabotage or anything like that. I mean, it is its own thing, and the actual way the caves are set up is, of course, being made for it.
And I can say that right now in our prototype we have actually removed all mining materials besides Expenite. So that is like the core focus of the mineral that you're gonna mine. Then of course you still have a pickaxe. You're using your pickaxe to change the terrain or dig through dirt and all the things you
100%.
know, right? And actually, I think now we're talking about that, I just want to say another thing, which is with traversal tools. Traversal tools, you don't come with traversal tools. So you're also, as you progress to the caves, you're gonna discover traversal tools.
Yes.
So traversal is gonna be a little bit different, feel different than it is in Deep Rock Galactic.
100%.
Yeah, and I have a question that ties into that actually. So we have a question from the chat here. Will Rogue Core gain its own identity, and will the dwarves be different from the mining team that we're used to?
Yeah,
they are. It already has that. So they are not the same dwarves.
They're the reclaimers. They are.
They're not miners.
Our goal is that they look so badass that they can clearly kick the dwarves and kick the butt on the dwarves in Deep Rock Galactic.
No, I mean, if in a bar fight, I think it might be up for grabs.
But maybe, but they're way more professional. They're way more.
And they're a different kind of tough.
Yeah, they're different kind of tough.
Yeah,
they are an elite unit.
Exactly. Right? Whereas, the DRG dwarves,
they're still dwarves, but they're still dwarves.
They're still dwarves.
So elite unit, but still dwarves.
Yes.
I'm just going to repeat that real quick. So another question is, will Rogue Core be a more dark and grim version of Deep Rock?
Yeah, I think that is we are looking into doing that.
100%, but to an extent. I mean, just so it is still taking place in Deep Rock Galactic, and it is still being made by us. So I think there is also an element of what the dwarves in DRG are, in that universe are. But we are actually very much looking at making this.
I think
more.
I think horror.
Scary.
I mean, when you're doing a co-op game, right? Horror is almost
impossible.
It's very challenging, right? Because you are sitting and chatting with your friends and you're having fun, and then horror is just a strange mix in there. But you can have something that is more, as you say, dark and grim. And I think we are gonna go for that. That whatever you're gonna encounter is gonna be worse than anything you have seen in Deep Rock Galactic.
100%.
All right, so you already touched upon this, but just for the people that are trickling in, is Deep Rock going to go away after Rogue Core releases?
No,
not at all.
Not at all. We are going to continue supporting Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes.
Awesome.
New seasons are coming.
Yeah.
Cool.
More questions?
No, I think that's it.
But then I guess there's 100 more questions out there. But we'll see if we find another time to answer them.
Yeah. But again, very quickly, the Steam store page is up. So go take a look, wishlist if it's something that looks like you're interested in. Follow it to be able to get information on it as well. We'll be making a section in our Discord for this, and I believe Jakob is also setting a subreddit up at some point.
And also I'm going to say Rock and Stone will be part of Rogue Core. So
that is true.
Rock and Stone